So I have started this YouTube passion project back in 2021 or so. At that moment in time, I have looked at possibilities to start filming all over the place, and given that I was a fan of Panasonic cameras and that I wanted to bet on 4K video, obviously with audio recording, I have naturally migrated to this dinosaur, the GH4R, the Panasonic Lumix, the daddy of the YouTube creator content from the mid-2010s up to 2020 or so. Now, long story short, I got this camera for about 600 euros or so, and it included this nice kit lens, the 25mm f1.7. Now, never you mind that I didn't have any clue as to what I was gonna do with it and how I was gonna use this camera, and also I attempted to film car videos, which no wide shots were ever achieved with this little pistol. But anyway, I digress. Now, during the past 5 years or so, I have had on and off moments, inspiration peaks, and also huge letdowns with my YouTube channel. I have considered abandoning the project altogether and deleting the videos many a time, and they're most certainly not going to be over, not by a long shot. But recently I have come into some money to invest in my hobbies, and I considered redoing this whole YouTube project altogether. In the past couple of years or so, I have been filming with the Samsung Galaxy S20, which in itself gives okay results. I mean, I can record 4K video, and I have attempted to improve this by giving a professional sound to the videos, a quality, an unmistakable quality feeling to the recordings by purchasing a Blue Yeti microphone, which didn't work in my favor as I was attempting to record at home. And given that the walls were not padded, there was all sorts of distortions and sharp effects to the sounds, making the videos extremely unpleasant. Now, on a side note, I have tried to set up this microphone yet again, but I don't really know the results altogether. But I digress. Let's get back to the GH4 at hand here. So I have been considering this to be a dinosaur for quite some time now, and I even considered selling it, moving it on the second-hand market, but the value just wasn't justified. But as I have stated before, I have recently acquired new energy and a bit of funds to revamp my YouTube project. And I've considered filming from two perspectives minimum. Make a mini studio and perhaps, I don't know, just film from above and with the secondary view, and include the GH4 in this process. Now, there's a bit of a problem with what I am filming now, because the S20, even though it gives okay results, is not going to blow anybody away. It's rather predictable, and it feels kind of amateurish to film with this setup. It's not a problem of, I don't know, video quality per se, because I'm an amateur at this and I don't pertain to a particular guild, or you know what I mean. I'm not a full-time content creator. Still, I would like to inject my videos with a bit of art into them. So yeah, the S20, long story short, it's not going to achieve that. As you can see, if there's any movement to the camera, the phone tries to overcorrect it. This leads to distorted images. The focus is too much digitally assisted. The phone is old. The battery doesn't hold, the ratio doesn't match that of a GH4. Well, long story short, I needed to get a new device that either matched this GH4 or rather to get two separate cameras with one of them with exterior microphone output, which I cannot really afford at this time and place. So I won't keep you in suspense much longer. Suffice it to say that behind this crudely designed attempt at a mystery door lies my second camera, and lo and behold, it is another GH4. And funny enough, it is the same GH4R that I originally purchased. And you can see the markings here. And let me just turn over the box here. Now, one thing that led me to the second GH4 was its condition. Besides the fact that it matches my original GH4 in both aspect ratio and features, was its condition. Now, this thing has barely been used, and it functioned as a second option, a spare option to a G9 and a GX9, I believe, to a passionate photographer and one who didn't make his living out of shooting videos or pictures, meaning that this thing is actually newer than my original GH4R, or at least in better condition. And it even came with the identical box, the identical importer, and mostly the same condition. So this is actually a bit of a geek out moment, considering that my GH4 is, even though it might be a little dusty in some places, you can clearly see it's in excellent condition. It doesn't have rubber peeling anywhere. It doesn't have broken bits. It's not missing the visor cap here, and is actually in, well, this thing is a tank. This model is a tank, and it can go thousands of hours of recording. Mine, I think, barely touched about 100 or 200 or so. But more importantly, this one actually didn't even work half as much as mine did. I believe about 10%. So now let me just grab the box out of the way and continue my story. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why would you invest in a sort of obsolete camera that barely can hold its own in 2026 with more modern gadgets? Well, the answer is twofold. First of all, this cost me only 200 euros, which in the second-hand market is a steal, and I want to extend my thanks to the seller because he wanted about 250 euros on it or so, and given the condition, it would have been worth that all day long. But I was on a bit of a tight budget, and I explained to him that this would go to a good cause, and I would not be selling this camera anytime soon, possibly ever. So his efforts would be appreciated, and nobody would be making a profit of his generosity and charity, I might say. And well, second of all, this GH4 actually is not such a bad camera for filming, even in 2026. Now, true, there are some downsides to it, and it has its Achilles heels, and this is speaking from my own experience. You can find reviews which match this, or rather extrapolate and go into detail about the issues and the challenges that a content creator faces when using this particular camera model. Suffice it to say, I have found on my own experiences that this thing is atrocious when it comes to camera movement and autofocus, especially in low light conditions. It has focus breathings. It is a contrast-based autofocus system. I won't go into the detail. If you know what I am talking about, you most certainly know the alternatives, the better technologies out there. And you also are aware that that type of camera, which features a particularly improved focus system, costs at least 4 times as much and maybe does not even offer the mic out option, albeit with a 4K recording capability. Long story short, this is why I have purchased an additional Lumix GH4R, and I couldn't be happier of having a magnesium alloy body camera with a brand new feel and mint condition. So if you are curious to see the difference in recording quality, both audio and video, between the two setups, this is a recording with the Samsung Galaxy S20 with the Blue Yeti microphone, while this is a recording with the GH4R together with the Ceremonic wireless microphone setup. Now, you can judge for yourselves whether these efforts were worthwhile or I am just rambling and, well, failing miserably at attempting to launch a YouTube channel. But you must keep in mind that while with the S20 I've very quickly reached the limits of what I can do in terms of content creation, well, the GH4R setup, I'm just barely scraping the surface even 5 years from the initial purchase. Now, granted, I'm not the most tech-savvy content creator out there, but you also must give me the benefit of the doubt and consider that I do have a day job. I am an adult with a lot of responsibilities. I can't even say that word right. And while I'm doing this in my spare time whenever I have the inspiration and the energy required, which is quite rare to be honest, I can't help but feel a bit conflicted about this whole situation I'm in. On the one hand, I have purchased my dream camera, which was my day-to-day camera and has been all along. And I couldn't be happier with the purchase price, with the limitless possibilities that it still offers me even in 2026. On the other hand, I must admit I am a bit disappointed about YouTube and this content creator situation in general. It's supposed to be a hobby, but really it's come to the point that you can't really compete at an amateur level anymore. And really it's sort of a wake-up call and a sad realization that I have waited almost 6 years to purchase the same basic camera that I have purchased in 2020 or 2021 with high hopes and dreams of making a difference in the online media. It offers me the possibility to take my time, to stand back a bit, breathe in the I don't know, the exquisite details, and just concentrate on creating the best darn YouTube videos that I can. And this is a pledge to all of my viewers over the next, I don't know, few months or so. I plan to improve on the look, the feel, and the significance, the importance of the information given on this channel. So no more random videos, no more presentations that lead nowhere and have no conclusion or no deep meaning. Suffice it to say, I would like to give you an insight of what it is to rely your hobby and your interests in old, obsolete gadgets, or as I like to say, I purchase weird and quirky, obsolete tech stuff, like this pair of Lumix GH4 cameras, so you don't have to. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.